All right, Rock Addicts, this is DJ REM from Rock Addict Radio, and I have Tom from the band Akarusa Yami on the line. How you doing today, my friend?
Good, man. Good. How are you guys doing?
Doing very well. It's finally starting to warm up over here in Michigan, so slow but sure.
It's very similar here in England right now, basically. The weatherman keeps saying, you got one more real cold front, and we're just going, we've been blasted by snow for the last 3 or 4 months. We don't care anymore. We're that not bothered by the weather anymore. We're all walking around in shorts and t-shirts anyway. If it snows, fuck it.
Right.
Don't care.
Exactly. I hear you. Okay, so let's start by introduce yourself and your spot in the band, and please introduce the other members that are not with us today, please.
Yeah, sure, of course. So my name's Tom. I'm the singer for Akarusa Yami. We're a progressive metal band from England. The guys who are with me this evening was Tom Clark, our guitarist, Damien Lee, our second guitarist, Jake Bennett, our bass player, Adam Jones, our drummer, and Lee Dowling, our keyboard player.
Okay, very cool. And how long have you guys been together as a band?
It originally started like a studio project back in September of 2010 between me and Tom, the guitarist. And over time, we just kind of gradually started kind of introducing one of the members to the band. We kind of met a lot more people that were kind of very like-minded, that felt the same way about music, felt the same way about the way a band should kind of be operated. And it just kind of went from there. Really. I mean, we've been a full working, functioning band since probably around April 2011. And Lee, our keyboard player, was the last one to join. He joined us in November of 2011.
Okay, and then back in the day when this all started, what was kind of the push to make this happen?
Well, me and Tom have both been in different bands before. I mean, most of the guys in the band have been playing in bands, different kinds of bands, for at least 10 years apiece, most of us. And basically, the appeal to this band was that we were very kind of no-nonsense sort of people. We wanted to basically make a band where we can kind of cut out a lot of the fluff that you get with bands. I mean, the thing is, as I'm sure you kind of seen yourself with the Woody and Bone in Michigan, you have a lot of bands who they'll do a couple of shows together locally, they'll try and kind of branch out to the next town over, they'll try and record an EP, someone gets mad at somebody else and they break up. And basically, Tom and I didn't really have any kind of great ego when it came to the band, per se, when we first started, so we just kind of we just wanted to make music and have fun. So we kind of got together and we shared a very similar kind of ethos, like a very similar kind of working ethos. And eventually, more and more guys who were gravitating towards us kind of felt the very same way about being in a band, and it's all just kind of worked out ever since.
Very cool. And then, so what's going on with the band right now? What do you guys have in the works? Do you guys have any live shows or anything lined up?
Currently, we've got a new EP, Trace Element Rebirth, coming out on June the 1st globally. Outside that, we are talking to labels and booking agents and some festival organisers right now. Nothing we can confirm. We are just talking right now, but as soon as we actually have something to confirm, we'll definitely let everyone know.
Okay, and as the tracks for the EP and stuff come out, make sure you get that to me so I can get it airplay, because I'll be happy to.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Definitely. And I appreciate the stuff that you've sent me so far. I've been playing it, and it's gotten good reaction on my show and at the station. And I have you guys in the 24/7 stream, so
thank you so much.
We're doing our little part to help.
That's very generous of you, man. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, no problem. So, what got you into music? What kind of influences have you had in your life that made you want to do this kind of thing?
I think I got into music, like rock music and that kind of thing, when I was a teenager. My parents weren't big music fans. Like, I think when my dad was younger, he would listen to stuff like Ted Nugent. My mum listened to stuff like Alice Cooper and stuff like that. But when they kind of had me and my little brother, they kind of knocked all that on the head and just didn't bother with it anymore. So rock music just wasn't a thing in my house. And I remember a friend of mine when I was about 14, 15, giving me a Linkin Park CD, and I remember thinking he was the most terrifying thing I'd ever seen or heard in my life. At that point in time, of course, that my opinion has substantially changed since then.
Right.
But basically, he kind of introduced me to that, and I just was just like, what in the name of God is this? And over time, I just kind of started hearing more and more bands. I think I jumped from Linkin Park and Papa Roach to Killswitch Engage and Slayer, then jumped again to the Berserker, and it just kind of got more obscure and more extreme as I kind of went along, really. And it's kind of just, I think I was about 17 when I joined my first band, and I think it was just purely a case, just like you've seen all these amazing artists doing all these different amazing things, it's just like, I want to be a part of that. And it was just so much fun playing music and just kind of being involved with musicians who kind of felt the same way. So I think it's always just like a natural thing. I mean, I remember reading Mark Alero, who used to be the singer of The Haunted, before Pete Golden came back. He said that once you've actually been bitten by a live bug, it doesn't really go away. You've always kind of got that boiling away. And it's very true, because I was in a band for a while. We were very stagnant, very frustrated, didn't really go anywhere. I quit. And I was like, I'm never doing music again. And I had the same conversation with my keyboard player, because he's been there. He was just like, I'm never doing music again. And then one day you just kind of wake up and go, I want to go stand with the band. And it's just like that, really.
Right.
I think once you've been bitten by it, I think it just holds you for life.
I tell you what, I can totally appreciate that, because it took me a long time as a DJ to finally to kind of break the ice and do my first interview. And after that, I've gone crazy. So.
It is kind of a weird thing. I think once you kind of get past the initial kind of fear, I guess. I mean, I used to do bits of radio too. And I think once you kind of get past that initial fear, it becomes kind of a lot more fun. And with that kind of thing, I think it's wonderful when you can. I think when you kind of get past that fear and you can kind of start enjoying it a bit more and have more fun with it, I think it's wonderful.
It definitely is an amazing feeling. So very cool. So how did, I'm sure you asked this question a lot, but how did you guys come up with the name for the band? Where did that come from?
Okay, Tom and we made a gentleman's agreement, which was he could come up with the name of the band and I get to name every record that we release. So the name was kind of his idea, really. Basically, we wanted to go with something that was kind of different, because we were kind of, we were very weary of going with a very traditional sort of metal name. I mean, you hear bands like Destroyer and Defiler and like that sort of name all over the shop. And we wanted to go with something a little bit different, because we knew we wanted to make music that was a little bit different, so we wanted to go with something that kind of stood out a bit, and he came up with that, and it basically translates to opposite of dark, opposite of light, which we kind of took to mean balance, basically. And we just sort of kind of like that. We kind of like the idea, we kind of like that kind of way of thinking, because it appealed to the sound we kind of, the kind of music we play very, very well.
Okay, well, I appreciate you sharing that story with me. I'm always very curious to know how a band's name comes to be. And there's actually a story to it, so I appreciate that.
Well, it was one of those things. We literally sat there because we had all this music. We were talking lyric concepts, we were talking artwork and whatnot. But anyway, we're talking about all this really cool stuff, but we haven't actually got a name yet. I was like, that's a really good point. So we should probably do something about that. So yeah, it was literally the name. It's like you talk to any band. They will always tell you, most bands will probably tell you the same thing, which is the name came last. Because picking a good band name is so fucking difficult.
Right.
Just picking something that doesn't sound like everything else, it's silly. It just gets silly after a while.
Yeah, very good. So where's a great place for people to go to find out more about Akarusa Yami? What social networking sites and websites and such do you guys use?
Well, we're on all of them. Reverb Nation. What we use, everything. We've got everything from Facebook to Tumblr to YouTube, Vimeo, Reverb Nation, Twitter, anything and everything really. We're on Facebook a lot, so I think if you want to kind of check us out, Facebook's probably the best place to go really for kind of like most of our stuff. That's where we post gig info, info regarding like any kind of radio shows we do, like yourselves. Same with like any shows coming up, any releases coming in, that kind of thing. So Facebook's a good place to go, and it's just facebook.com/Akarusa Yami.
Okay, very good. Do you guys have music and merchandise and stuff for sale there too?
Yeah, our last EP, Ouroboros, is available now. We have t-shirts for sale too, so if you want to grab one, we'll love to do so. I think the t-shirts are currently about £5, so that's about $8 I think right now, so it's a really good price.
That is a good price.
And the EP you can buy off iTunes for about £4 or £5, so about $6 or $7.
Okay, very good. Yeah, I just found out I actually ordered an album from a band today. Oh, that's from the UK, and I found out how big a difference there is between your guys' currency and American currency. And American currency sucks right now. Oh my God, it was insane. It was like $14 in your currency, and it cost me like $22.
it's kind of a weird one because I've got a girlfriend and she lives in Ireland, and we sit there trying to do the math regarding what it works out like pound to euro. And my boss my boss lives in America, and she always kind of panics when it comes to kind of paying me. And last time she paid me, it actually worked out much better for me than it did for her. So it turned out that the currency exchange was just amazing for me. So it was just like she paid me like it's around like $1,000 or something like that, and I thought it was going to work out like about £600. It worked out to be like over 700. I was just like, this is amazing currency fluctuation.
Definitely, very cool.
But no, it's kind of a weird one. I mean, we deal with people, and we talk to people, bands and stuff like all over the world. And as I told them, another band called Cafe Demonic, and they recently started getting a lot of heat from Malaysia. So they were kind of he was kind of sat around figuring out how to kind of best connect with people who live in Malaysia. I was
right.
Like, you've got me. I couldn't tell you I don't know the first thing about Malaysia. I know the capital. I know what it's called. I couldn't tell you the time zones. I couldn't tell you the currency. I couldn't tell you anything. So, good luck, mate.
Yeah, definitely, right? Okay, so this EP that you have coming out, where are you recording this at?
It's all done. I mean, the EP's all kind of finished and it's all good to go. It was recorded. We actually kind of home studioed it for the most part. There was a little bit of a mix-up with some people. There's been this kind of common thing kind of going around. It was recorded with a guy called James Dunkley. It wasn't. James recorded a single for us at the end of 2011 for Like the Venomous Way, the original version of that. But basically what happened was we wanted to re-record it for the new EP because we had Lee join the band just after we recorded it. So we wanted to kind of have it with his input on there as well. So the whole EP was actually recorded between our keyboard player's house and our guitarist Damien's house as well, because they're both trained producers. So we kind of recorded the whole thing ourselves, and then the whole thing actually got mastered by a guy called Tim Turan, who's worked with everyone from Emperor to Plan B. I think he's worked with Marilyn Manson once or twice. So he's a very, very well-known man, very well-respected in the music industry. So he was a perfect choice for what it is we wanted to do, and he did the last EP as well. So he just did an amazing job. Okay,
well, very good. Well, definitely everything sounds great, and props to or how awesome is it to have people that can do recording right in the band, you know?
We kind of looked out. We have we have a band with a publicist and two producers. So it kind of works out pretty well. That
works out really well. Dang.
Yeah, we succeeded. We managed to keep the bills way down.
Yeah, good job.
So that's going to help from time to time. So that's pretty good.
Very cool. Okay, here's a question specifically for you. If I grabbed your iPod, your MP3 player, however you like to listen to music, what bands would I find you listening to right now?
Jesus. I have a massively eclectic taste. I think if I'd say the last 5 artists I think I was listening to recently on my iPod, quite eclectic. I was listening to the new Killswitch Engage record. I was listening to Red Hot Chili Peppers' By the Way record. I was listening to Du Liebe ist Veralter by Rammstein. And this is where it kind of gets weird. I was also listening to Katie Mellua's The House, because I really love her. Especially she's got this wonderfully sweet, very quiet voice, but she just makes really lovely pop music. And also the Killer's last record, Battleborn. We're kind of, as an individual and as a band, we've got very, very eclectic tastes. So we're not. We kind of like listening to as much different music as possible. I mean, put it this way: the next gig I'm going to is there's a guy called Ludovico Einaudi, who's a classical pianist, and I'm going to be checking out his stuff fairly soon as well. So very eclectic taste.
Very cool, and I totally appreciate that because I have a very eclectic taste in music as well. So, and I really appreciate it when bands and band members have that. I think it comes through in the music.
Yeah, I think if you've got a band and you've got 5 guys who also run around listening to nothing but Slayer and Exodus and Hirax and that sort of thing, it can reflect pretty strongly in the sound as well, I think.
Yeah, that's how you would sound like.
Yeah, pretty much. And it's just kind of like, I think if you kind of got that variation. Don't get me wrong, I love Slayer, I love thrash, I love metal, don't get me wrong, I listen to it a lot. But I think, because I got asked this recently about was I listening to metal when we were writing the record, and the answer was no. I think when you're writing, I think if you're not listening to the style of music you're meant to be writing, It can kind of help because you can kind of get a very fresh perspective on what you're doing. You can kind of come at it from a different angle, which I think is very, very important.
Yep, very good. So, where do you guys hope to be in a couple years? I mean, what will define success for this band for you?
It's kind of a strange one. I mean, the thing is, I've been in bands before where you go, I want to rule the world and do this, that, and the other. And I think with the state of the music industry kind of the way it is right now, things are a little bit unpredictable. I don't know if it's that way in the US, but in the UK, it's a little bit unpredictable right now. I mean, when the metal world kind of saw the closure of Over a Record last year, literally everyone I know just went, "Oh fuck, that's Roadrunner that just took a hit."
Right.
That's massive. So that kind of scared. I think that scared quite a lot of people by just how drastic the times kind of were. So I guess for a band like ours, we'd like to sign with a label, and so we are talking to some people about this and bobs. I suppose really, if I had to just define success for this band, it would be being able to go out and tour successfully and have it be. I suppose in a way, have it be part of our living. Will we make millions playing this kind of music? Probably not. I mean, if you look at a lot of big metal bands and whatnot, they've been going at it for 10, 15, 20 years.
Right.
Three in this. And we're all quite okay with that. Like, we're okay with the idea of kind of going out and doing this when we're 40, when we're 45. I mean, the median age in the band really is 29, 30. The youngest member is 20, he's 24 this year, and the oldest member is 36. So the thing is that in terms of age, we're fairly mature people, but at the same time we still have goals and stuff like that. So I guess I would kind of say that what we really want to do is be able to go out, tour, and have this be part of our living, definitely, and basically kind of just keep pushing it further and further with each record.
Well, very good, and I definitely wish you guys the best of luck with those endeavors, because I know it's definitely tough out there these days. So
it's kind of a weird one. I think because I remember. Someone was talking recently about the advent of the internet and how it's just made things so much easier for bands. And I think in the beginning it made things easier for bands, but I think as time's kind of progressed, it's just as difficult as it used to be. Because back you used to have kind of like the tape trading days, and you used to have the digital downloads just weren't a thing at the time. You're going back like 15 years, for example, they just weren't a thing. And so you had to have physical CDs, you had to have this, and you had to have that. But over time, that's changed, obviously, and we've had the illegal downloading thing, and now we're kind of going into a new, weirder kind of phase where certain labels are basically kind of going, all right, digital downloading, it's here, it's probably not going to go away, let's work around it. And I think the good labels, the smart labels, will find a way to work around it, and they're the kind of people that I would personally want to be in business with, and they're the kind of people that I think bands could feel safe with, because they're the ones that aren't just kind of thinking quick buck here and there. They're thinking long term. They're thinking they're thinking adapting, which is the best way to be.
Yep, very good. So, for you guys, what would you say sets you guys apart? I mean, obviously, there's a lot of other bands out there trying to do the same thing you guys are doing. So, what sets you guys apart? I mean, when you guys do live shows, why should people come and watch, and why should people go to your Facebook page and buy your music, for example?
Musically speaking, we've always. I think it's a difficult question. I think that as a band, we've always tried our best. It sounds a bit pretentious, but we've always tried our best to try and kind of avoid trends, as it were. Obviously, there's been the big gent scene. You've had the deathcore scene, the metalcore scene, the resurgent thrash scene, all that sort of thing. Ever since we first got together, we've been kind of somewhat, I suppose, naive when it came to whatever was kind of popular. Because if you were to ask me right now what's kind of popular, I probably couldn't tell you really, because I know the bands I like, and I tend to kind of check out new bands based upon recommendations from friends whose opinions in music and stuff I trust. So the thing is, because of that, we just kind of like ignored what was going on, and we've been compared to this band and that band and whatnot. But I think if I was going to give a reason as to why bands someone should check our stuff out, it's because musically speaking, it's tight, it's interesting, it's different to a lot of kind of the stuff that the modern metal is kind of going out there right now. It's progressive, it's melodic. There's stuff in there fans are just kind of, we kind of wrote it in the sense that when we were writing, we were thinking about two groups of people. We were thinking about the guys that just love a good hook, a good melody, and just love a good just a good old-fashioned metal track. But we were also thinking about the guys that like the technical stuff, the geeky stuff, that kind of thing. So it's kind of not tailored, but it's music that can appeal to a wide audience, because if you like a hook, you've got it. If you like the complex wiggly guitar solo and a bizarre drum rhythm, polyrhythms, that's there too. So it's kind of a comfortable medium between those two worlds.
Okay, well, very good. I personally think that you've achieved all that, and like I said, continue to play your stuff, and the response has been great for me from playing your songs. So we'll just keep doing it.
That means a lot to us, man. Thank you so much.
So, fun question time. What's the craziest thing that's ever happened to you at a show that you're willing to share?
Okay, we did a gig. We played a big festival in the UK called Bloodstock about 2 years ago. And we were doing the show and whatnot, and there was about 400 or 500 people checking us out. We were having a great time, and the crowd was going crazy, and it was all good. And we thought, well, we had our first two singles out at the time, Third Eye Wide Open and Millennium Is My Salvation, both of which are still available for free from our SoundCloud page. And what happened was we burnt like 50 copies of those two singles off and started just throwing them in the crowd, just giving away freebies to people. And so me and the bassist Jake are just kind of heaving, like throwing these CDs in the crowd in these little plastic wallets. The only problem, of course, was the wallets basically had serrated edges.
Oh, jeez.
So we were essentially throwing knives at the audience.
Did people get cut?
Kind of. Basically, what happened was we threw the first half dozen into the audience between the pair of us. Maybe the half dozen. After people realised how sharp they were, they stopped trying to catch them. Instead, you could literally hear, "Get the dog!" And you could literally see people diving out the way of these CDs. And I said quite curtly, I said, "Did I hear anybody? I don't care." Threw the last CD in the crowd and called her square in the eye. And I just said, "All right, I am genuinely sorry about that." And about a month later, I was chatting to a friend of mine, Phil, and he'd been working that weekend. He was photographing the festival for a webzine, Angel of Metal, here in the UK. And he said, "Dude, that was hilarious." I was just like, "Wow, what happened?" "You hit Bierman in the face." I was just like, "What?" And it turns out there's this wonderful, really lovely chap called Jim Bierman, and Jim does a show on Top Rock Radio and on Switch Radio here in the UK. Really lovely guy, very well respected in the metal world, loves supporting independent music, and he's always been a massive supporter of Akarusa. And I hit him in the face with a CD.
Oh, man.
So the first thing I did after talking to Phil was email Jim going, "I'm really sorry, I didn't hear you." And he just sounded back going, "No, that's okay, I thought it was hilarious." I was pissed out of my face. I didn't know what the fuck was going on. All I knew was a CD in my eye.
Hey, it was a true metal show. What are you going to do?
It was.
That's good.
I don't think he expected that.
Right, definitely.
No. I'm just really happy we never got sued.
That's always a bonus, right? Definitely. Okay, anything else you would like to tell the world, everyone that'll listen to this interview? Anything that I haven't asked you, and I'll make sure people know about you guys?
No, of course. All I'm really going to say is, first off, thank you for the continued support from you guys, from you yourself as well, from the station. Thank you so much for that. Secondly, that our new single, Ride the Venomous Way, is available now for free. If you head over to our Facebook page, there's a link up there. Grab it for free, spread it around, enjoy yourself. And we have a new EP coming out on June the 1st called Trace Element Rebirth. So we're releasing it globally, so you can pick up a copy off iTunes and off, I think it's going to be from like Spotify and Deezer and that sort of thing if you're kind of streaming music. So yeah, check it out, June the 1st, Trace Element Rebirth.
Okay, very cool. I will do that, and I will encourage others as well. And then I have one last thing to ask of you before I let you go. I would love a couple of radio tags for the station, if you don't mind.
No, mate. You tell me what you want to say, and I'll do it.
So the first one, just say your name and that you're from Akarusa Yami, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Cool. This is Tom from Akarusa Yami, and you're listening to rockaddictradio.com.
Perfect. And then the second one, the exact same thing, but just add in there that you're listening to DJ REM at Rock Addict Radio.
Hi, this is Tom from Akarusa Yami, and you're listening to DJ REM on rockaddictradio.com.
Okay, very cool, man. I totally appreciate that. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me. Within the next week or so, I will have this edited and uploaded to YouTube and such, and then I will send you the links to that as well.
Thank you, dude. Thank you so much for the interview. Thank you so much for your time. I look forward to speaking to you again soon, and thank you for your continued support.
Yep, you bet. Make sure you tell the rest of the band I said hello as well, please.
I will do, man. Hey, listen as well. Give me your postal address, and we'll stick a CD. We'll stick a T-shirt in the post for free as a thank you.
Okay, I definitely will. Do you want me to send that to you? Just email? That cool?
Yeah. Just email me your postal address. We'll get a CD on out. We'll get a T-shirt out to you as a big thank you, and when we actually get some CDs pressed as well, we'll send one out to you as a thank you.
All right, very cool. I appreciate that.
Pleasure, man. Take it easy. Have a good weekend.
Yeah, you too. Take care, man. Bye.